Welcome to Let Me Be Frank. Merry Christmas, Frank. Hope you had a good one.
Oh, it was an awesome holiday, actually. Got to take the grandkids to the movies. Got to go out with a good friend. Nice restaurant. It was a great weekend. How about you?
It was good. I'm here in Vegas with the fam. It was fun. Did kind of like a friend's Christmas after, I did all my family stuff. It was a blast.
We're good.
Even went to the casino Christmas night, lost a little bit of money, won a little bit of money,
There you go.
all over the place. So it was fun. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot. But well, let's start off with recapping last week. I'm on a cooler, Frank. I'm just gonna lay it out.
You the
I'm just gonna
cooler?
lay it
You're
out how
not the
it
cooler, are you? Oh my God, that's
I'm
that's
I'm
that's that's from a
the
movie.
team dumped
The
the
cooler.
whole ice cold thing of Gatorade on my head. I was on a hot streak, one of the hottest streaks, could not lose a game. And then, of course, these last 2 weeks,
You've been
I
getting hit hard.
have been ice cold.
Yeah, well, you
But I
can't,
want to come back. I want to come back. I went
we got to. I think
one on.
my Cleveland game. Oh man, Deshaun, that quarterback, he looks worse than a rookie. I swear. Can you blow a bubble out that with that gum?
I almost did, and then I realized that we were doing podcast. So
I'm watching. Is he gonna blow a bubble? I'm just messing with you,
I
buddy.
held myself back. I'm a
Okay,
mess.
thank you.
So,
Anyways,
but no, it
watching
was a
that.
tough week for both of us.
Oh, come
I
on!
think you should have
I'm
really won
winning
that
this game
Cleveland game.
10-0. I got no problem here. And then all of a sudden, even the announcers goes, "Look, they got two guys wide open," and he's just not. He's not even seeing it. And so obviously he has no perception of what's going on out there. And of course,
Yeah, after being off out of football for 2 years, he's definitely not looking like that superstar quarterback that he was all
you're paying
hyped up
big
to
bucks
be.
for. Yeah. Well, again, we'll see how he does next year. But matter of fact,
Yeah,
one of
we'll
my
see. We'll
picks
see
is
how.
going to be against Cleveland because of him. But anyways, we'll get to our picks in a little bit. So
Well, let's jump right into it, Frank. I mean, you
yeah, we
led
might
right
as
into it
well because
perfectly.
it was a rough week and there's no really recapping because I'm sure everybody who's been following us is going.
Yeah,
They don't need to explain
just
those losses.
start us
They've
off.
seen those games or probably saw what was happening. Look at my Eagles game. I had the Eagles. You like Dallas. Matter of fact, I had a comment from a customer the other day telling me that, well, we're going to call him a client, and he said, yeah, your buddy over there, he liked Dallas, and you guys duked it out on that Philly. I says, well, I liked Philly. But look, I was winning what, 17-10 or something, 27-10? Well, I don't remember. I was up pretty good. Whew, Dallas came back good. I tell you,
Yeah, I know.
that was brutal.
Gotcha.
And then when that guy's running the ball and the ball just goes flying out of his hand,
Yeah, you would have had the cover if he didn't fumble it.
that was my
So
moment. I lost momentum, everything. You know, it's sad because that game ended a 6-point game, and we talked about in last week's podcast how you said the line was 4.5, and I says, "Whoa, when did it go down?" Because it did go to 6. It went from 1.5, and as soon as they found out Hurst was gone, it went right to 6. But of course, I didn't jump on it. I wanted to. Same thing's happening again this week with another pick that I like. I mean, well, we'll talk about this in a few minutes too. But again, these numbers move fast, and if the
they've
game you
moved
like,
fast
if
this
the
week,
game
Frank.
you
It is
like,
Tuesday. It is Tuesday, and they've already moved
oh, it's
multiple
unbelievable.
points.
Yes, it is. So,
So, but let's kick it off. Kick it off.
do you want me to
Show us
kick it
what you
off, or do
got.
you want to do it? What do you want to do, buddy?
You kick it off.
All right. So,
Age before beauty.
oh man, that's just so wrong. So wrong. So wrong. All right, brother. I'm going to go with Washington against Cleveland. I think. I mean, at this point, these teams they. I don't think Washington has a shot anymore. Cleveland's definitely out of it. I don't. In these last weeks, I really hate playing teams that have nothing to win for. All right.
Well, here's what I'll tell you, Frank, to make you feel a little bit better
Well, I
about
hope you
yourself
got
is that
something
Washington.
because I like playing the big boys at this time.
Well, Washington has a very real chance to make the
Oh,
playoffs.
how
If
many
they
people
win
have to
their next
lose for that to happen?
No, if they win their next 2 games, they're in. If they go 2-0, they're in. So they're going to be hungry for this game.
That,
That
that
doesn't
is,
mean I like the play. But
Oh, how could you like Cleveland? I mean, Cleveland's got a great defense, and you still got Chubbs, okay? But you know what? No, and what is this number again? I think I have it -4. The line is now, it's 2.5. Is it still 2.5? I mean, you probably have more access to FanDuel right now in front of
it's
you than
down
I
to
do.
2. They're going the other way.
They're taking Cleveland.
Mm-hmm.
All right, keep bringing it down, boys.
Have you-
Just keep bring it down to pick, all right? And you know me, I'm the juice man, so I'm going to add some points to this. Anything under a field goal, I'm happy with. Okay, if I can bring it down to
Yeah,
2 and
I-
not lose by a half, I'll be happy with that. I don't want to see a 22,
I like the
20.
Browns. I like the Browns a little bit here on a teaser, actually. I'm not a huge fan of the +2. Here's what I think. If you look at Deshaun Watson, I get it. He hasn't played great, but he was not playing football for 2 years, and they still have an amazing rushing game, a solid offensive line, and a solid defense. This guy, his first game back, did terribly. Understandably, that's what being out of professional football does for you, to you for 2 years. But then his last 2 games, he's had a really tough go when it comes to weather. He or sorry, his last 3 games, he had a tough go with teams and weather. His first game after his first game back was the Cincinnati Bengals, very tough team. We've seen them shut down multiple teams. They're looking really good, looking like probably one of the hottest teams in football. Then you have the Baltimore Ravens, terrible weather, great Baltimore Ravens defense, shut them down. And then you have last week's game in the snow and the wind. I mean, it's hard to pass. He's cold. I don't know. I think that against these Commanders, that this might be the game for the Browns to, upset them and shake it up a little bit. They still have a very, very outside shot at the playoffs, but I don't know. I think it could be a
they're out of
possibility.
it, personally. I think they're out of it. I think I read somewhere they're totally out of it. You got that division. I love that divion, and we got what I
I
think
know you do.
Baltimore. No, Cincinnati now. I think Cincinnati's now. They're in the top of that division, 11-4, and Baltimore's 10-5. So
Frank, you got to speak into your mic a little bit more.
oh, there we go. Well, I'm looking at the standings while I'm trying to talk.
I know. I'm sorry. I just couldn't hear what you were saying.
Oh, okay. Well, that's if you can't hear me, then nobody else gonna be able to hear. But we got this. So, anyways, I was just looking at the standings in Cincinnati. I think Cincinnati. I personally think Cincinnati rolls the rest of the season. I do.
Yeah, I wanna be
I'm not even
surprised. They
looking at
look
that.
really
If they're
good
playing
this year.
Buffalo, it's gonna be tough. So, but we'll. So okay, I'm seeing me my next pick. I'm going with Green Bay. They won the last 2 or 3 games. I think they're at home against Minnesota. Minnesota's clinched it. They still got the worst defense there. I don't know how many. They're talking a lot big this last week or so about how Minnesota's won all their games by 1 score. Of course, I'm not going to go down the whole record.
Yeah, they
but-
like to keep it tight. That's for
so
sure. They like to
I'm
keep
going
it
with Green
tight.
Bay. There's just no discussion on this. I think Green
You know,
Bay's
although I'm not a
-3.
huge fan although I'm not a huge fan of your Washington pick, I actually do like this Green Bay pick a bit. It actually ticked up from 3. In some places, it's getting to 3.5. So there's a little bit of money coming in on Green Bay.
Okay.
Listen, this Green Bay team, Aaron Rodgers, sees the light at the tunnel, and we all know that he is still a very good quarterback. And this Minnesota team has left a lot to be desired. We're in Lambeau. We're only laying 3. Green Bay needs to win this game to get into the playoffs. And
They got
Frank,
the
I'm
team
telling
too.
you right
Yeah,
now, I'm
momentum.
hoping for a Green Bay Lions winner goes to the playoff game in Week 18. I'll be betting that game. Don't
Okay,
care
Frank.
if I hate the line. Won't
Sounds
matter.
like a
I'll be
plan.
all over the
All
Lions because
right,
I have to be.
Mr.
But
Lion.
I do like the pick.
The
I
Lions
think
and
Aaron
Tigers
Rodgers.
and Bears.
I do think Aaron Rodgers has a chance. I think he sees a light at the end of the tunnel. I think he's probably going to come out and have a really good performance, and definitely against that terrible Vikings defense. I mean, we just saw the Colts last night get destroyed by the Chargers, and
And destroyed
that
the
same
week
Colts
before
team-
by the Rams, was it? Oh, who
and
destroyed them the week
that
before?
Colts team got
They're playing for a
messed
draft
up by-
now. That's where they're at. As far as I'm
And the
concerned.
Colts almost beat the Vikings. They probably should have beat the Vikings. So
All
I
right,
like the
we're
pick.
good.
I like the pick. I see where you're going.
Okay.
The luck is going to run out soon enough for the Vikings.
All right, we're gonna go with the Giants on the next one. Playing the
Ooh,
Colts.
I love the pick.
When I talked to you last night, I'm going, oh God. I turned on the Charger game and I'm like, oh my God, these guys they're just pitiful, and they've been pitiful. I can't believe I lost a lot of money on their upsetting teams, but They ain't going to upset the Giants. Giants defense is just too strong playing at New York. And the line was 3.5 when I talked to you last night. And I says, I guarantee it'll be up by tomorrow. Well, I think it's at 5.5 now. Anything under a touchdown, I think this is a good bet. Yeah.
I agree with you. Listen, Frank, this is going to be one of my bets too. I'll just spoil it for the people now. I like the Giants here a lot. I wish we got the 3.5. I wish we just pulled the trigger.
Yeah.
I didn't. I'm probably going to bet them actually after we get off the Zoom call.
Well, you get the bet on the app. Unfortunately, I'm in Washington, and
I know you got to run down to the casino.
I got to run down
You're
to
old
Clearwater, and they're just not going to do apps here. It's just not going to happen.
But I like this Giants team. Listen, I make a lot of parallels, in my personal opinion, from the Giants offense to that Chargers offense. Yes, they have a better quarterback, but they utilize their running back an immense amount. You see that Eckler is the focal point of that offense, even with Keenan Allen and Mike Williams there. Yes, Daniel Jones is not as good as Justin Herbert, but Daniel Jones is a little bit better of a runner than Justin Herbert, and they don't have the weapons outside. But I think their offensive line might be a tad bit better, and I think that their defenses are also similar. So we just saw this Chargers team go into Indianapolis, or no, it was at the Chargers.
Yeah, the Chargers, yes.
Yeah, we just saw this Chargers team go in, beat them 20-3, embarrass them. Well, Frank, I think that honestly we could see the Giants do the same thing. The Giants need to win one of these next two games, one of these next two to lock in their playoff spot. They just need to win one, and this is going to be the easiest one. Okay, next week they play the Eagles, and even if the Eagles are resting their guys,
I think
which is not a
we're going to discuss that in a minute too.
Which isn't a given. We just saw Minshew tear up the Cowboys defense, which is, well, let's be honest, it's quite a bit better than the Giants. So, I think that the Giants feel a sense of urgency. They like this game a lot. I think that we just saw a very similar type of team, maybe slightly better than the Giants, put the hurt down on this Colts team. Colts are on a short week. Giants are on a longer week. I mean, there's just so much to like here with the Giants. I like them.
All right.
Quite a bit. Lay the 5.5.
Okay, I'm going to go with 2 games. These are more leans, and I'll let the folks out there just decide whether they like these bets or not. That's all on you guys. But I have very little reason, but I'm going to go with San Francisco. I think Purdy, they need the momentum to go into the playoffs with that quarterback. I think the more time
you like San Francisco? You're leaning San Francisco?
Yeah,
at the
because
Raiders?
I think Purdy, I think the defense is definitely there, and I think the coach here, very good coach in San Francisco, and I was a San Francisco guy from the beginning of this year. I was just waiting for them to come into this, but Purdy he showed up, and I also believe that they got to keep momentum. They got to keep this kid on his game. He has a bad game. He loses confidence going into the playoffs the next couple of weeks. I think Frisco rolls. The line is low.
I think it's 6, isn't it?
I have it at, is it 6? Where's it at? 5.5, and it might be 6 by now. I don't know what I have it. I got it at 7.5 and went to 5.5, or it opened up at 5.5. So I don't know.
I'll tell you what, this is a stay away game for me.
Like I said, I'm leaning. Yes, it's the Raiders. Raiders might start playing some football in the last 3 weeks just to keep their fans happy.
The Raiders are hungry. The 49ers, I get that they're kind of playing for the number 1 seed, but let's be honest, they probably don't have a shot. All the Eagles need to do is win one of their next 2 games. I'm sure they will.
Actually, I'm looking at that's my next pick, so I'm going to just skip to the next one so we can get to your picks. I'm going to lean against Philly again. And the reason why is because what you just said. You're looking at they're playing for the number 1 seed. The team they're playing is the Saints, which might be just start putting in other players just to see how they do for next year. I had this game at 10.5. I think it opened up at 7. Went down to 6.5. So they're taking the Saints, and I'm not understanding this, but I really don't care at this point. It's under a touchdown.
I'll tell you what.
Get the number 1 seed. Once you get that number 1 seed, now you can rest your players the next 2 weeks and not even give a hoot because you already locked it up. So play for the win now.
Here's the thing, Frank. They're probably going to secure the number 1 seed, right? But to lay the 7, I'm not about it.
Boy,
This Saints team's hungry.
there's years
I
I'd
think
laid
the Eagles
7
probably win
points.
this.
I'd lay up to 14
Listen,
points on these games
listen.
and
I
not
think the
worry.
Eagles win this game, Frank. I'm not saying that they don't, but
You're
they
worried
don't
about the
have to
number.
cover the 7. They don't have to cover the 7 at all. They just need to win
They
this
just need
game
to
to
win.
get the number 1 seed.
I agree.
And this Saints team is going to be hungry because they have a chance to win their division. They have a chance to win that putrid NFC South, and they might go down and they might surprise this Eagles team. Listen, I hate the number. If I had to pick a side, I would actually take the Saints plus
You
the
take
7.
the numbers.
Or
I
plus
should be
the six
taking
and a
all
half.
dogs. Look at the last couple weeks. I had nothing but dogs winning. This is a dog year,
know.
and I'm a favorite
I
guy,
know.
which really sucks. But
And
that's
I'm
just
usually
the
a
way
dog
shit's
guy, but
going.
I've been taking more favorites, and it's burned me this year.
Yeah,
So,
man, me too. Unfortunately.
but do you have any more leans, or you want me to just rip off my picks here
No,
quickly?
rip off your picks. I think I got it. I'm done. Go for it, brother.
You done?
Yes.
Okay. Well, there's not much I like this week. I'm gonna be
Well, you should narrow it
The-
down a little bit the way you're going, or play the percentages
word
and
of
bet
the
them
day,
all.
Frank, is gonna be teaser. Teaser, teaser,
Oh, the
teaser.
teasing
That's the
man.
word
I'm
of the
not a
day.
teaser fan, but
Um,
sometimes I am. But go ahead.
I like to tease. I would love to tease the Lions. I would love to tease the Dolphins. I like to tease the Browns. I mean, listen, there's not a ton I like on this card, and I already told you guys that probably one of my favorite plays, if not my favorite play, is the Giants. Now, I
Yeah,
am
we
gonna
both agree on that.
go
Usually when we agree to
away.
agree, boy, we do pretty good. So heed that, folks.
I'm gonna give you guys 2 other games, and I'm not stoked about these games, but I do like them, and I will probably bet them. My best bet is gonna be the Giants. I'm just laying that out there. But the next 2 games I like, Brady at home against the Panthers. Now, Frank, I know,
Lay that guy
I
to
know,
pasture.
I know what you're thinking, but you know my theory here, Frank. Brady just almost got beat by the Cardinals. The putrid, terrible, absolutely god awful, should not be Cliff Kingsbury fired Cardinals. Okay. That is who they just lost to. Now they need to win this game to secure that division, to lock it up.
No, that's
Brady's
true.
at home. It's going to be prime time. It's going to be on national television. The lights are going to be on. Is Brady going to fall down? Do we trust Sam Darnold and the Panthers to beat this Brady led Bucks team? I'm not saying the Bucks are great. I'm not saying they're going to do squat diddly in the playoffs. But I do think that the Bucks
Go
are
ahead.
going to make the playoffs, and I think they win here. The Bucks defense is good. I don't think they're going to run all over them. We're getting a team that's coming off a huge high, beating the Lions.
They've had a great
in a
run
game
the
where-
last 3 or 4 games, but I think as much as I hate this pick, and I'm not going to argue with this pick, and the reason I'm going with your pick or like your pick is Carolina's already beaten Tampa, but they do need this game. They beat them 21-3. I don't know what and they covered it easy. This line opened up. It's Tampa minus 6.5. It's now down to -3, and I actually handicapped it Carolina minus 3.5
I mean,
because
listen,
of the
if it
Carolina's
was-
run. But does Carolina? I don't know. I got the standings in front of me, but I'm afraid to walk away from the mic again and look at the standing. Carolina needs this game, don't they, to tie in the division?
Yeah, both teams need this game, which kind of makes me a little scared. But I just can't. If you're going to give me Brady at home,
Brady with 2 minutes
playing
left.
a-
You gotta
playing
love
a
it.
field goal,
The 2-minute
in a game
man.
He has to win.
3 touchdowns,
he has to
2
win, you
touchdowns
have
in
to
2
take it.
minutes, 3 minutes, whatever it was that beat me a couple weeks ago.
The man can do it all,
piece of
and he's
crap.
going to want this game. He's going to be hungry for it. I think that it's time to sell high on the Panthers and buy low on the Bucks. That's just my opinion. But my next game, Frank, is going to be another prime time, big time game, and it's going to be the Buffalo Bills at the Cincinnati Bengals.
Ooh,
Listen,
doggy, I like playing these big games. It's exciting.
It's another-
a challenge.
it's
It's
another
not
game-
a lock or a thing for me, but go ahead. I got to hear who you like. I'm dying to hear this.
it's another game where I like a teaser. Like I said, word of the day, teaser. But it's another game I like the teaser. I'm, getting 1 point, which is essentially, nothing, basically a pick 'em with the Bengals. They're at home. Like we said at the beginning of the show, Frank, this has got to be probably one of the hottest teams in all of football right now. They look so good. Yes, they let the Patriots back in the game last week after they were up an immense amount of points, running all over that Patriots defense, passing all over that Patriots defense, shutting down I know the Patriots offense isn't great, but they shut them down. Now you're at home, okay? The crowd's going to be ruckus. It's going to be Monday night.
And gonna be cold. I don't know how.
They're gonna
maybe
want
20
to beat the
below. Who
Bills.
knows?
They're going to want to beat the Bills so bad, Frank. And
I'm going with you.
Listen.
going with you on Cincinnati too. I mean,
You're gonna get.
I'm not gonna put a lot of money
Oh.
on it, but it's one of these games where you want to kick back and have a little action on it. If I'm going to do it, I'm going to bet Cincinnati. I think Cincinnati to me is going to be like San Francisco. I think just roll right to the playoffs. Ain't going to lose. Just
Yeah.
going to keep going.
Listen, they're a
Momentum.
home
Gotta love
dog.
momentum.
How can you not take the points with a home dog, Frank? A home dog that's playing
Yeah.
probably some of the best football right now in the NFL. I mean, it it seems almost too good to be true, and I get it. The Bills are so great. Everyone loves the Bills for the Super Bowl. But this Cincinnati team, do not count them out. They look really good right now. Their defense is starting to come together. And to be honest with you, Frank, I've been very unimpressed with the Bills. They didn't look that great against Chicago last week. They didn't look very good against Miami the
Buffalo
week before.
doesn't have to look good anymore. They know that
And I'm
they're in
just-
the playoffs. They know that, and they've been in the playoffs the last couple of years. They know what it's like when they get there. They
You
will
think they're
deal with
cruising?
it when they get there. All right? They already know they're there. All right? They don't have to kill themselves against Cincinnati. There's no purpose
Right.
for it, no reason for it. Cincinnati
Well, all the
probably
more
don't have
reason
to
I like
kill
the
themselves either, but Cincinnati's not Buffalo. And I think Cincinnati's going to, again, have to prove themselves like they did last year. That's how I think. Well, I'm sure they don't look at it that way. Like, what do you mean we have to
Probably
prove
not.
ourselves? We're good.
We're the
We were in the
Super
Super Bowl
runners-up.
champ
You
players
better watch
last
over
year.
there, Frank.
I would love to see Cincy
All
back
right,
in the
well-
Super Bowl. I would give anything to see Cincy back in the Super Bowl. That'd be awesome.
Well, let's wrap it up, huh?
Okay,
Let's do a
I
little
want
quick
to
recap.
say something. I mentioned this to you on the phone. I said I was going to look a little research on this real quick, which I did. So, because there was only 17 weeks last year and there's 18 this week, so last week was like the third week going. We had 3 weeks left. So basically Christmas weekend. And so Christmas weekend, and I said, did you notice last week every team in first place actually won and covered? But I wasn't sure on all of them because I still had to look it up. So I said, I'm going to look at last year. And, of course, the Christmas weekend, which was only 2 weeks left. These are all the top teams that were in first place. Buffalo won, 29-15. Cincinnati in first place, 41-21. Tennessee was in first place last year, 20-17. Getting 3, whoever the heck they were playing. Kansas City, 36-10. 1 minus 10.5. Dallas, 56-14. Green Bay was the only loser. They lost 24-22 versus Cleveland. And Cleveland, remember, had that late run. They were going against Pittsburgh, too. When it was minus 7. 32-6 against Tampa won, minus 11.5. Rams, 30-23. They won minus 3.5. Now, this year, I noticed, again, wow, if I would have just played the top teams, I would probably got my 5-0 in that Hilton contest. Well, Westgate contest. All right, Buffalo won. I don't have the scores. Cincinnati won. Kansas won. Tampa won. San Francisco won. All these teams covered the spreads. The only losers actually, and I don't know if you want to even count this game, was Tennessee versus Jacksonville. And Tennessee was in first place, and Jacksonville needed the game to tie this thing. But so Tennessee lost. Philly, depends on when you got. If you got 6, you pushed. If you didn't, you lost. And
Well,
Minnesota
Tennessee played
lost
the
by a
Texans
half.
last week, Frank. What were you saying?
They didn't cover by what? The line was 4.5, and they beat them by what, 3?
The Titans lost outright.
Yeah, so basically, bottom line, 1, 2, 3, 4. It was 5-2 in one push, or 5-3. So again, maybe it's something for us to look at next year if we can remember to do this. Just play all first place teams going into third week with 3 weeks left, and let's see if these numbers change. Look at these scores. This year is crazy. We're fighting. We're yelling about 6 and 7 points. Worried about getting beat. And last year, 41-20, 36-10. Where are these? What happened to these scores? They're not there no more.
I think with the new playoff format, people are going to start cruising a little more at the end and take it a little easier because there's a couple more games. So I hear what you're saying. I think that might be a trend in the next couple of years, definitely with them changing up the playoff format. I like it. I think it's a good find.
So, all right, I am ready to wrap this up.
Okay, well let's
you want
let's
to do the
a little
dog
recap.
and
Yeah.
Dakota?
So
Okay.
Frank for his picks we'll start off with your picks. He has Giants minus the 5.5, or
For the
I mean,
teaser.
if you can find something less, good luck. But minus the 5.5. He's got Washington minus 2.5, and your last pick, Frank, is gonna be. I'm blanking. Help me out.
Oh, you're talking about just the regular picks. I thought you were talking to Dakota and the teaser bets. No, you just want regular
No.
picks? No, Washington, Green Bay, and the Giants.
Oh yeah, Green Bay minus 3. How did I forget that one? I like that
Okay.
one. And then for me, I'm going Bengals +1. I'm going Giants minus 5.5. Frank and I are on the same pick. We usually do well. Just saying, and it is my favorite bet. And then my last pick is gonna be those pesky Brady Bucks minus the 3. And then for Dakota Dog of the Week, Frank, you're going against me on those Panthers.
Yeah. If I'm going to take a shot at a dog, I'm taking Carolina because I don't like Tampa. I don't like Brady,
And
and I think
and
Carolina's
I'm
got a
gonna
nice
go.
run. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go actually the Steelers against the Ravens. It's not my favorite choice. I don't love a ton of dogs this week. Thought about going with the Raiders, but I'm gonna go with the Steelers. I could go with the Bengals, but I already gave that as a pick, so I don't want to be super chalky. So I'm gonna go Steelers. I just think that the Steelers are playing good ball right now, and I think the Ravens are kind of gonna cruise into the playoffs. They're already locked in, so and they don't stand a chance at getting the first round bye. So I think they might kind of cruise, definitely with Lamar hurt. Tyler Huntley doesn't look great. I think the Steelers could win that game. And then for our teaser, Frank, I am going to go for the sole reason because I love my Lions. Because there's so many teasers I like here. I could choose 1,000,001.
You and those
Okay.
Lions.
But
All right.
because my Lions are also a teaser I like, I'm going Lions, teasing the 6, down to pick 'em. Let's go Lions. Let's make the playoffs, baby. Let's get a wild game. Green Bay against Detroit, Week 18. I want to see it on Fox or CBS or something. Come on, NFL, help.
All right.
Who's your teaser going to be, Frank?
Oh wow. Who did I forget? Did I say it was going to be? I forgot who I said my teaser was. We just discussed this right before the show. I'm gonna go with the Giants on my teaser.
All right, Frank. How about the Giants?
It's my pick, right? So we don't want to do that. All right, I'm gonna go with Philly. There you go, Philly. One
All
of
right,
the teams I'm leaning on.
Frank's teasing Philly. We're pairing it up with the Lions. Then we
Okay.
got Steelers and Panthers on the money line for the Dakota Dog of the Week. Well, Frank, it was a little bit of a hot mess of a show. We've been kind of chaotic with everything that's going on, with everything in the holidays. I
Oh,
hope our viewers
It's
understand.
been crazy. And I want to
But-
thank John, our video director, producer. Guy's still doing an awesome job. So, all right, we're ready to, let's close this up.
Ready to get out of here, Frank. Well, it's been a fun show. And I hope you had a great Christmas. And I hope everyone has a great Christmas and Happy New Year to everyone. I'll be in Glendale, Arizona for the Michigan TCU game. Go Blue. But I hope you guys all enjoy.
Later, buddy. Enjoy that game. Bye.
Thanks.